meeting. We recessed till 6:50 to try to give, some technical difficulties and Cheyenne and Kyler, anybody else, a little chance to log in just in case they were late. First off, I just want to say it's good to be back. I apologize about being gone. I did have family in town. We had delayed flights and all sorts of stuff, but it was great to see them. I appreciate you guys still holding the meeting. It sounds like it was successful, like always. And David, thanks for stepping up in my shoes when I'm gone too. I really appreciate it. I have a couple things for club business. And the first one here, and the main thing I want to talk about is I got an email from Robin Roberts. I believe he's a member of Top Cats or Downtowners, or he's a club mentor or coach. And he was asking about pooling Top Cats, Downtowners, and our club into one club, and then rotating dates and times each week for the meetings. So my initial reaction was a little hesitant. I'm always for helping, everybody continue doing Toastmasters. One thing I like about us is that we do meet on Monday nights at 6:45. It works with our schedule. I think the Top Cats and the Downtowners meet at like 12:30 in the afternoon, and that would never work for me ever. And I don't know about you guys. So I reached back out to Robin, asked for a little bit of clarification, saying, hey, look, we would love to help in any way we can. I'm just a little hesitant on the time. Can you please explain what you mean? And I haven't heard back from him, but just real quick, can I get a show of hands? Raise your hand if you are for rotating dates and times of our meetings and including other clubs. Can you please raise your hand if you're for that? Okay, so I think everybody here is probably for having other clubs join, but a little hesitant on rotating the dates and times, because I want more members. I want to help those who are still interested in Toastmasters but are struggling a little bit. I just can't change the date and time because it just would not work for me. So I think we're kind of all in agreement with that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct with me. Yes. And I ran into that same problem because I'm a coach for Downtown Club, and 12 noon on Wednesday was when they meet, but I didn't dare ask them to change their time. I just tell them I'll try to meet at least once a month.
Yeah, I was going to say, I find that to be a very, very difficult time. Sorry, Olivia, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I'm a little flexible afternoons, and I'm okay with different days of the week, but I know noon, I work Monday through Friday, but for me, if we wanted to do it maybe at 5 o'clock I don't know about anyone else, I'm just saying I do have a little flexibility in the afternoons and maybe a Tuesday or a Wednesday versus a Monday, but I know in the daytime, it's just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Because I definitely agree.
Well, I tell Chris that at Downtown, I said, well, I really don't know about my participation until that day or that prior hour during that day, for that meeting.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. I find that when I was researching Toastmasters initially to join, I found a lot of clubs met at like 12:30, and I was kind of shocked because it's such a different time, right in the middle of the workday. And so, okay, I'm glad we're in agreement with that. I'm going to reach back out to him. I am going to invite them to join us and join our group and participate in any way they can. I'll just tell him that, we do like our 6:45 time because it really jives with everybody's schedule. And if we need to be a little bit flexible, I think we can all be a little bit flexible, to the left or right, maybe a little bit. And so, I'll report back next meeting on what I find out.
Yeah.
Next, fun public speaking games. Maurice, go ahead.
Have you or Dave got in contact with Kevin Poe recently? Because this is on the same topic. At least
I did.
Contact Kevin Poe just to give him an update on what you're willing to do.
Okay. Yep, I will. I actually got his number in my phone.
Yeah.
I reached out to him I think before last meeting and asked if he had anybody or knew anybody who wanted to give a speech, because we had spoke a couple times about, getting some of the Top Cats members in and stuff, but he just said okay back, and I never heard from him. So I will reach back out and talk to him about what we're talking about now.
Yes. Okay.
So fun public speaking games is the next topic. So Majid really, came through with the idea last week of doing this exercise. And so that's one reason I want to do it again tonight, because I wasn't here last week, and it sounds interesting and fun, and we all get to speak, and it helps fill those times when we don't have speakers. So if anybody else has any kind of fun games or anything like that, or exercises that we can incorporate, please bring them to the table, and it'll help the meetings still be successful, even though they already are, even when we don't have speakers. I spoke to Carpe Diem this week. They're still not allowing meetings right now, and I know we've had an uptick in cases, so it's on my radar still, and I asked to be called back by the manager if their schedule or policies change. And meeting minutes, Olivia sent me the meeting minutes for, I think, the 12th and the 19th meeting. I sent those out in all hands email today to the club. And so please review them, and we'll vote on them next meeting. And with that, that is all I have. Does anybody have anything else to pass for club business?
Yes, I did receive an email. I did not see it from Toastmasters, but I saw it from Crystal Lockett, that if you have already paid your dues for that was due 1st of October, you have the opportunity to get a free path. So whenever you want to, or when you finish your first path, I mean, you can get a path anytime, but instead of paying $20 for your next path, you can get it for free, I think, until the end of the year, if you've already paid your dues, which 12 of us have, so we can in this club. So, and I'll look at the email again, but you can get a free path.
Awesome. Thanks, Maurice, for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Because I think some people are close, like David and Carrie, if I'm not mistaken, are pretty close to completing their pass. So
yeah, but even if you, like I say, you can get it. You can get it even if you're still on level 1 on one path. But yeah, okay. It's more suitable for people who are finishing their path. Yes.
Well, I'm definitely going to take advantage of that, because I think we've all paid our dues, and it'd be nice just to save that $20.
Yeah,
it's almost a tank of gas.
Hey, I just want to reiterate what you said. So even if you are in level 1 or 2, you could still go open another path while you're trying to finish this. Then
before the end of this year, I think December 31st is the last day for this offer.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Maurice. Anybody else? Okay, and with that, Olivia, instead of me going over the agenda tonight, looks like you got that under control. I'm going to go ahead and turn over the meeting to our Toastmaster tonight, and that is Olivia.
You're on mute, Olivia, maybe. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters, and happy Monday, October 26th. And I will be your Toastmaster for this evening. I've only done this once or twice, so please, if I make a mistake, just feel free to jump in and tell me what I need to do. But I will start by going over having our invocation and pledge. Is there anyone on schedule for invocation and pledge tonight? If not, I will just do the pledge.
We had Kyler, Olivia, but why don't you go ahead and take that for us?
Okay, sure. So I will just do our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I did, and I was excited to be here. So I'll just jump right into it. Let's see. For our agenda, we have 3 parts of our Toastmaster meeting. The first part is our prepared speeches. The second part is our table topics portion, where everyone gets an opportunity to speak or be a part of it by partaking in a 1 to 2 minute off the cuff or straight from the hip speech. And then at the third portion is our evaluations, awards, and education overview. So tonight we do not have a prepared speech, but I would like to take a minute to go over everyone's roles or responsibilities for tonight. So with that being said, let's start with the R counter. David, that's your role. Can you tell us a little bit about your position, please?
That was funny. You said, let's start with all counter.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Which is what my role is, to catch words like that, which is very easy to do. We all tend to do it. And that's why Toastmasters has incorporated this role to help remind us when we're doing it, not to call people out on it like I just did you, but to...
Oh, that's okay.
But just to do. So I'll be keeping track of any filler words, not just but or or like, words that don't add to the communication, but are just filler words. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David, for your explanation of your role tonight. I will move on to the grammarian and word of the day. Luke, is that you?
That is me. All right, good evening, everybody. So the grammarian's role is to try to catch any, abuses or misuse of the English language or words or anything like that. So, and also to present the word of the day. So the word of the day, hope you guys can see this, is strobic, S-T-R-O-B-I-C, strobic. So strobic means spinning or appearing to spin. So used in a sentence, strobic. When produced in this way, the strobic illusion is exceedingly pretty. And that is the grammarian role and word of the day. And I'll turn it back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Luke, for that word of the day. I'm trying to unfreeze my camera. Okay, I think I'm there. Okay, thank you very much for that grammarian and word of the day explanation. And now we'll move on to Majid. You are the general evaluator tonight, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Hello,
could you tell us a little bit? Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Majid. I will be the general evaluator for this evening. I would provide a general evaluation of all the meeting. When did we start? How did we go? How did the planned section 1 and section 2 go? And call out the evaluators and the grammarian and see their report, and then give overall evaluation of the meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. And let's talk about the timers report, or what is the role of a timer? Who is our timer for tonight?
It's me. Well, I'm a timer. Time for timer. I'll be keeping track of the time for the speeches and the table topics. And at 5 minutes of a speech, I'll flash the green. I got a green pen too. And obviously I had to turn off my green screen so you could see the green. And then for 6 minutes of a prepared speech, of a full speech, and 1:30 of table topics, I'm going to use the bottom of this peanut butter jar. It's brown, not yellow, but I'm using this for yellow. And then at 7 minutes of the full speech or 2 minutes of the table topics, be red. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Maurice, you are so silly. I always enjoy your explanations. Okay, let's talk to Donovan. Donovan, you are our table topics master. Could you please tell us a little bit about that role?
Yes, Olivia, thank you for this opportunity. The table topics session of the meeting is basically asking you, this is, um, asking you impromptu speeches, basically. So tonight's theme, I'd like to go ahead and say, is Halloween. And hopefully y'all enjoy it, and it's going to be really fun tonight. Thank you. Back to you, Olivia.
Okay, Donovan, thank you for your explanation of the table topic. So, without any further ado, because we do not have any prepared speeches tonight, we're going to jump right into our table topics. Donovan, are you ready to take it away?
Yeah.
Luke is doing a.
Hey,
Oh.
I'm sorry, Olivia. I
That's right.
think you were off camera trying to do the technical difficulties, and so I apologize.
Right.
I would like to try to do Majid's public speaking exercise in speaker 1, and then we'll do my education overview in speaker 2. That way we can kind of fill those 2 spots.
Okay, no problem. Will there be an evaluator for either of you guys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So Majid, you're up first.
Yep, I could do that. Thank you, David, for letting me share. So I think Luke was not there, so I'm just gonna reiterate. And by the time Morris or Olivia or Jonathan or Luke, do you want to suggest any topic which is a little more challenging, like the one we had before? Just have your minds brushed. I'm gonna go over a little bit, probably with Luke or everyone can hear. So the topic how we planning to do is we'll start with A, and we can start with me or anyone, and then like the specific theme that we spoke about, I'll say something about that, and the next candidate in the row would go next alphabet B, and then C. So we'll keep going in the series. So you would know right when Olivia speaks, it would be Luke's turn. So he would plan for the next alphabet. So say Olivia did S, then the next alphabet would be Luke's. So he need to plan something, some sentence with that alphabet. And this is little informal. So it doesn't have to be grammatically or framed as such, but it's a little informal and speech oral kind of game. So you could be a little informal. And the next, but try to stick to the theme. And what else? It doesn't have to be a minute or 2-minute sentence. It's just one sentence or two. You just want to express something about that theme, starting from that alphabet that you are assigned. So I think it was pretty straightforward as we did last time. But maybe if you guys want, we can ask to an option to reword the series if you guys like. But maybe if you don't, then like after Majid, Morris, if Morris says, okay, I want to reword, after he said his sentence, he would say reword. So again, it would be my turn. So if it would be more fun because you don't wait for your turn, your turn can come anytime. So it's a little surprise for you. So, but the one who does the word would reward the chain, either going up and from up to down, or if you reward it, it's going to go down to up. But it's going to be a little confusing, I would guess, but that's what it is. So let's start. What theme do you guys want to go with? I'm going to head. Any suggestions?
Are we talking about? Go ahead.
Any suggestions for the theme that we are going, like last time?
Or the theme, yeah. Election.
I say let's make the theme sports. It's football season.
Elections, I don't know ABC.
No, go ahead, sports.
Yeah, I'm fine with sports. Any other suggestions, or let's go with sports?
That's I can't think of anything else.
Well, I want to be positive something. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's why I said it sheepishly.
All right, let's start with Olivia then. So Olivia, let's start with A, and then I'll keep changing this alphabet that's running now. So you guys can see my screen to know which alphabet we are on, and Olivia is speaking. So next would be Luke. So that would be a chain unless somebody wants to revert it. Olivia, over to you.
My letter is A, and talking about sports. Awesome, awesome team. I am a diehard Saints fan, so no matter what they do from season to season, they are awesome. Next, that will be to you, Luke.
Okay, and so now I take B, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Olivia, the Saints are awesome, but the team is not in baseball, and baseball happens to be one of the sports that I like to watch the most. So I do agree the Saints are great, but I just wish they were a baseball team.
Hi, everyone. Captains. Every team has a captain. The captain of the team is an important role and keeps the team together and keeps everything going. Captains are important. I've never been a captain on a team.
Manuel D.
Yep.
Defense is key for a football team to be able to win, but also the thing defense is key.
E.
Elegance. Elegance is the word when the game starts and you see the star player hitting the ball right outside the ground. That shot is called elegance.
Okay, I'm sorry. F. For me, football was a sport of mine earlier in life, but I wouldn't call it my favorite sport. I think my favorite sport earlier in life was baseball also, that I've been a fan of. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun playing baseball, and I also had fun bowling. That was another sport of mine went out during my earlier years. So fun, fun, fun. Next.
Golf is a popular sport. It's not one of my favorites. It seems that people do a lot of standing around, although what precision it is to be able to get that ball in that little bitty hole way across the field. So I admire anyone that has the ability to successfully play golf. Also, I think it's kind of relaxing. I'm going to switch this back to you, Maurice.
So H. What is a sport that starts with H? Hot potato? No.
Hockey.
Hockey, yes, hockey. Also, during my earlier years, I was, I guess, more of a fan of hockey than I was in later years. The Boston Bruins was the first hockey team that I looked at when during my earlier years. That strobic shaped puck being hit by a stick past the goalie into the net. Hockey. Next.
India's national game is hockey. Talking about hockey, we had so many hockey players, but seems like the global enthusiasm of hockey is going down with more aggressive and fun games coming up. So hockey is going a little slow in India. With that, oh, Donovan, I'll let it go with Donovan. Donathan.
All right, thank you. Another day. It's really small, but I'm just thinking about But in a way, jogging is a way of not just breaking a sweat and doing competition. You can also do it off of fitness, like people will visit watches that count their steps, like Fitbits on smartwatches, but also you also do it at the gym as well. David?
Killing it. I hear that phrase a lot in sports. Someone's killing it. They're doing really well. They're hitting the tennis ball as hard as they can. That's the only word with K I could think of.
Olivia, you're on L.
Or Luke, or
Oh, Luke. I'm
Luke
sorry.
is up next.
Yep.
So, lacrosse. It is a sport that you play with a stick with a net, and you throw a small ball. It's like golf, except you're not hitting the ball, you're throwing the ball. And I find lacrosse to be a very neat, fun, and fast-paced sport. I wish I could play lacrosse. Next.
Open water swimming. I always want to do, I think it's called the triathlon. Yeah, no, I'm nowhere near ready. But I always want to try that open water swimming where you just jump in. Now, I've swam in very large bodies of water. I probably wouldn't now because I think of all the things that animals do in the water and it kind of like messes with my mind. But open water swimming, just being able to just jump off and get in the water, that's a sport that I love. Maurice, back to you.
All right. In. Well, for this year during COVID, for several months, we had no sports. No sports, and people, it did throw the rhythm off of some people until sports came back. And ironically, it started with MMA because Dana White was bold enough. He had the vision to start sports again during COVID-19. So we went from no sports to sports after that.
Oh boy, roll tide. We have the roll tide team here, and when we play, nobody else is in the team. Nobody else is in the ground. Roll tide. Donovan, back to you.
There's another P. Push-up. Push-up is a way of being fit, and also people can do it in a competition way of making it into a sport.
quitter. Quitter is not what you want to be when you're involved in a sport. You want to continue on no matter how hard it gets or how challenging it is.
Okay, it's 7:20. Let's move on to Luke's educational overview speech.
All right, thank you guys. I'm gonna stop sharing and then, back to you, Toastmaster.
Okay, thanks, Majid. I appreciate that. And the game was fun. I enjoyed it, and I can see how having like a hard topic such as the election could have been interesting. So I think sports was a good general topic that allowed us to think. I mean, I was over here counting the alphabet, trying to figure out what's next and trying to figure out, what I was going to say. So anyway, thanks, Majid, for that. And without further ado, I'll quickly get into our education overview, and then we'll go into our table topics. So the education overview tonight is 10 great tips on how to give a killer speech without notes, or how I like to modify it, without utilizing your notes so much. So this is something that really affects me a lot because I do rely on my notes. And so I know a lot of people here don't, and that's impressive to me. And so I still hope you guys get something from this. So in this article I read, there's 10 tips on how to not utilize your notes. And in those 10 tips, there's like little subcategories that I'll quickly touch on. So the first tip that I want to touch on is memorize key points. Don't memorize the entire script. So this is something that I'm guilty of doing. When I first came to Toastmasters, I would memorize literally the entire script, almost word for word, and I would practice it religiously. And it's a very daunting task. It puts a lot of pressure on you. It takes up a lot of time. And in the end, when you get nervous or anything like that, you're trying to remember all these specific details, and it is just super, super stressful and hard. So just memorize the key points. And with that, it says write an outline. So just because we're talking about 10 tips to do a speech without notes doesn't mean you can't have any. So write out an outline, and I know we all do this. So we're writing out the outline. We know generally what we want to talk about and what we want to say, and then that way we can speak on it confidently. Practice your speech. I started this one because practicing your speech is something that I do all the time, and it has helped me be successful in Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters. I will time myself, I'll video myself, and it is something that really helps that muscle memory and helps me be successful. So out of anything, I think practicing your speech really helps. And don't try to be perfect. Another thing I'm 100% guilty of, and I think we all are. We all want to be perfect. We all want to strive for perfection and make it the best speech ever, or, the best performance ever. But reality is we're not perfect, and we need to not beat ourselves up so much when we, when we're not. The reality is everybody makes mistakes. And so give yourself a break, be easy on yourself. Pick it up, just pick yourself up and move on, and don't beat yourself up so hard when everything is not exactly perfect, because in reality, that's not reality. Number 2, create solid connection with your audience. So just speaking from the heart, it says, being genuine, being passionate about what you're talking about. And that's a way to connect with your audience. It's not somebody just standing up there giving a speech, a random speech, and there's really no feeling or meaning behind it. You're just kind of listening to this guy or gal, and it's just you don't have that connection. So speak from the heart. Use you. When you're using you, you're kind of engaging your audience and kind of maybe drawing them a little closer to your speech by including them. And try to include humor. So humor is something I have trouble engaging in, because a lot of the speaking I do at work, humor is not involved. And so it's more poised, I guess. I don't really know the word, but, we're not using humor a lot, but humor does help, break up any anxiety, helps kind of make everybody laugh. Everybody enjoys to laugh, and it's fun. So try to use humor. Number 3, utilize effective body language and hand gestures. So this is something that we evaluate ourselves on. We all talk about using our hands, moving around the podium and everything like that. So, hand gestures, movement, eye contact. Number 4, it says be a storyteller. So when you start telling a story, make sure the story is related to your topic. You don't want to start telling a story that's related not to your presentation. It might confuse the audience. Just try to have a story that's related to your topic. It makes it more personal. lets them see a different side of you and how you've kind of related to what you're talking about. And once again, it's that connection with the audience. Number 5, don't give in to negative thoughts. This is something that I've definitely struggled with in the past. When you start getting into your negative thoughts and you let it become more prevalent, it really starts to infect you in ways that aren't good. It brings on a lot more anxiety. It brings on more pressure. When you have the self-doubt talking in your head saying, hey, look, all this could go wrong. I could forget where I'm at. I'm going to be embarrassed. Anything you can think of, you have to calm down. You have to take a breath, and you have to realize that those are valid concerns, but you are more prepared than you think. You've practiced. You have your outline, and you're able to get up, and you've done these things before, and you can do it again. So just try not to give into the negative thoughts, and that just goes into life in general, not just with public speaking. Number 6, focus on the main topic. Try your best just to focus on the main topic of your speech. It's easy maybe if you don't have notes to kind of squirrel off in other directions, but just try to stay focused on your speech. Number 7, don't drink coffee before your speech. And that kind of goes with any other stimulants. So I don't drink coffee or have caffeine before I come to Toastmasters meetings on purpose. I don't drink coffee at work on purpose, but on the weekends, I love to have a cup of coffee first thing when I get up, because I can go outside and work. I don't have to focus. I don't have to speak. And it just helps with, not being so nervous and allow me to be calmer. Number 8, practice as much as you can. We already kind of touched on this a little bit, but I practice religiously. I even practice this education overview twice today, once at work, kind of in my head at lunch, and then right before the meeting. And I just want it to sound good. I want it to be professional and worthwhile. And so just doing a little bit of practice will help just make you that much more fluent with what you're talking about, instead of just, kind of going up there and just kind of grasping at things. That works for me. Some people can talk off the cusp a little easier, but I tend to struggle with that. So, and acknowledge that every speaker is nervous. I do believe some speakers out there aren't nervous, and I wish I had that kind of attitude, but I do think there's healthy stress and healthy nervousness. And having a healthy stress and nervousness, especially when you're speaking or engaging with people, is good, because it's going to keep you on your toes, and it's going to help you perform and show that you really want to be there. And lastly, you made a mistake. So what? So this is one of the biggest things I've learned in Toastmasters. At the beginning, I would make one little mistake, mispronounce a word, my face would get red. I'd feel like my speech was a bust. I would get nervous. I'd get flustered. From there on out, I feel like people could see my face. You give into the negative thoughts, and it's just kind of like this revolving circle. The thing is it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. It's no big deal. You pick up, you move on, you remain calm, you find your spot, and you move on. I've seen people speak, and the training wasn't even the best, and they were messing up, and they forgot their place. But guess what? They just paused. They found it. They came back. They didn't seem flustered. They didn't seem nervous. And I still had my confidence in that person that I was listening to. So it doesn't matter if you can make a mistake. Don't be perfect, because we're not perfect, and we're all human. We all make mistakes, and just give yourself a break. So with that, I know I'm over my time a little bit. Hope you guys learned something, and I will turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Olivia.
Thank you very much, Luke, for that. And yes, you are so right. None of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes. It's okay to have a little nervous energy. That is good for you. Stimulants, yeah, probably not so much. And the one thing that I know is enjoy your topic. If you get the opportunity to speak, I'm one of those that's never a nervous speaker. It's just something that I enjoy doing. But it is difficult if it's a topic that you're either not familiar with or something that you just don't have any interest in. But when you really enjoy your topic, that makes for the best speech ever. So I always like to have the opportunity to enjoy my topic and to tell a story. So thank you, Luke. Those are some real good notes. Okay, well, I think we have, the time is 7:30 now. So do we have time to do any more table topics, or should we go into the evaluations?
I think we have time for, I would say let's do 3 table topics and we'll call it good.
Okay. All right, Donovan, if you would please step right up and let's start with our table topics portion.
All right, thank you, Olivia. I'm so excited to do this, y'all. Today's topic is Halloween. The week is Halloween. One of the questions that I looked up is, if you can hire a professional makeup artist or designer, what would be a dream costume for you on Halloween? Olivia?
I'll take it. If I could design a makeup artist, you said if I could hire a professional makeup artist, what costume would I be? Is that what you said, Donovan?
Like a dream costume. So if you can hire a professional makeup artist or designer, what would be a dream costume for you on Halloween?
A dream costume for me would be, this is where my humor is going to come in. A dream costume for me would be anyone that was about 100 pounds less. So if we could just get someone that could put me in a very much smaller body, I would be much appreciated. I don't even care if they're cute or whatever. So that's what I need. Maybe what I need is a personal trainer. Perhaps that would be it. So that's the answer for my question. Back to you, Jonathan.
All right, thank you. Thank you. So, very interesting. Right, so who would like to answer the next one? Anyone? Hey,
I'll try.
all right, David. What's scarier, public speaking in front of 100 people or skydiving? And why?
So the question is, what would scare me more, speaking in front of 100 people or skydiving? For
And
me,
why?
and why? For me, that's easy. Speaking is more scary, but I'm actually capable of doing it. I can get in front of a group and speak, but it's still, my heart's racing and I get butterflies in my stomach. And a lot of the things Luke talked about in his educational overview, you know, if I make a mistake and my face would blush, but I am capable of doing that. But the idea of skydiving, I've never actually been skydiving. I've been scuba diving. I love to ride roller coasters. I like to do anything thrilling that's relatively safe. But I would like to try skydiving before I, before I die. Or darn it, I said, oh well. But I don't know that I'll have that opportunity. And I am a practical person. Realistically, skydiving is very dangerous, but actually more people tend to die in the planes before they jump out because they use rickety old planes, and there's been a lot of crashes involving skydiving planes. But that's my answer, and thank you, Donovan.
Thank you, David. That was a very, very fun answer. I excited to hear that. The next and the last question, which is actually geared to Halloween. On Halloween, what does number 14 entail to you?
Can you say that one more time, Donovan, please?
On Halloween, what does the number 14 entail to you?
So I'll take that one, Donovan. So I think the question was on Halloween, what does the number 13 mean to me?
Yeah.
And so, to be honest, the number 13 to me, the first thing it reminds me of is being a young kid and seeing that Friday the 13th movie. I remember seeing, I think it was Freddy Krueger or somebody like that. I can still picture what he looks like in my head. And I haven't seen it since then. at all. I just remember it being really scary. And I'm not the biggest fan of scary movies today at all, really. And so it did burn a little a little memory into my brain. And so when I think of the 13th, I guess it reminds me of Friday the 13th, the movie Freddy Krueger, and basically just general superstition. I'm not the biggest superstitious person in the world, but it does remind me of superstition and kind of being around Halloween and spooky and scary, aura and everything. I think it kind of goes hand in hand with maybe Friday the 13th. So, yep, that's what the 13th means to me when I think about it on Halloween.
All right, thank you, Rick. All those answers just got my head the strobic. So this is the end of the table topics section. So I'm gonna go ahead and return the microphone to Olivia Cottle. I'll touch that one.
I think you're still on mute, Olivia.
Thank you. Thank you, Donaldson, for your table topics. I really enjoyed your questions. And Luke, it's not often that I find people that agree with me, but I don't like horror. I don't like anything that's going to leave I don't know. I mean, in the world with so much going on, I like happy things. So if it's not happy, it's just not too much for me. I don't mind action, but I do not like horror. So yeah, last time I seen a horror movie, it does kind of put a little something on your brain and it kind of stays there. So I'm not into horror either. Okay, well, to keep the meeting moving, I think we should go on into our evaluation. So if we could call up our general evaluator, Majid, and it is time for you to take it over from there.
Hello, everyone. We'll go into general evaluation of the meeting. Before I give my evaluation, I would call for the general evaluation branches. So grammarian, grammarian, if you could give us an overview of the meeting. Grammarian.
Sure, Majid. So I was a grammarian tonight. I heard one person use the word strobic. So let's give a round of applause to Maurice. He's the winner tonight for word of the day. And as for misuse of the English language or mispronounced words or anything, I did not hear anything. But I'm kind of guilty of listening to what everybody's really saying, and I should probably watch out a little bit more, but I did not hear anything off the top of my head, so I thought everybody did a great job. Back to you, Majid.
Thank you. Then next I'll call Morris for the report for...
Yes. Thomas report, Luke educational overview was 8 minutes and 21 seconds. Olivia's table topics was 22 seconds. David's table topics, 1 minute and 17 seconds. And Luke's table topics, I started late, but I got around 1 minute and 12 seconds for Luke's table topics, and that's Thomas report.
Thank you, Morris, for sharing us the report on general evaluation of the meeting. These 6:45, I think everyone was here. We recessed for 5 minutes just to make sure everyone is aware of their roles and things. So we started on time with 5 minutes recess. I think like the overall that we were able to accomplish all the items in the meeting, though we had a 5 minutes recess. And also the evaluation parts are smaller because we don't have a prepared speech evaluation. So we can let the initial part 1 and part 2 of the meeting flow a little further down the time as we did this time. I think it was a good idea. The speech, the second prepared speech, the educational overview was very good. Luke, I really appreciate your input on this. I have also made some notes on it. Like we always try to give a speech, and the eye contact gives a lot of value to a speech. Like if we are looking to each other, and it comes when you have that natural flow in it, which comes with the, at least memorizing some note points, and then you bring up the other the surrounding items naturally, but you practice it so it comes in a flow. So I made some notes on it, so that was very good educational overview. The general advice that you associated with it, and like a storytelling attitude, and sometimes adding some humor depending on the situation, how it is. And Olivia's adding on the point that make the topic more enjoyable, and she likes the topic, so it's always try to think about the topic a little more and see what's the fun fact in it. So you started to like the topic, so you would be able to express it more elegantly. So I think that's also a very good point, and storytelling, so you gather attention and also the hand gestures. So it was overall very good educational overview. I think it was a good learning exercise for us. And the table topic section, Halloween, flows well with the theme now. So thanks, Jonathan, for that table topics. And the makeup one was a very nice answer. I was thinking about on the different channel, the regular answer, and Olivia came up with a very unique kind of answer. So it was very nice. So yeah, it's good to have out of the box answers, and so very good initiative. All right, David and Luke also had one of the table topic shares, so it went overall well. With the respect of time, I would relinquish the general evaluation part of this. David, do you want to share anything?
The all counters report.
Yep. Sorry, yeah, true. And Luke answered. Luke was saying something about. I was like, was it Luke or David? So yeah, David, let me call for our counter.
Which ironically, I just said the all counter report. But okay, so for the all counter report, honestly, for the initial game that we played, I was not paying attention, but I don't think there was a lot of ahs or ums. People were speaking more fluidly, I guess, just off the top of their head. We didn't have any speeches, but for the educational overview, which Luke gave, I counted a handful of ums and uhs and a couple of you knows as well. I think for myself, sometimes I can get in that mode where I completely forget about not using filler words and just start doing it. But when I pay attention, there's like a policeman inside me that's like monitoring everything I say, and I can feel them coming on and stop them. So it can happen. But for the table topics, I know I had at least a couple of uhs, and I did not notice any for Luke's or Olivia's. And I was not keeping track of the ahs just for the general meeting, just for the actual speeches. So that's the only ones that I came up with. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Back to Olivia, Toastmaster.
Thank you, everyone, for your reports, and thank you, Majid, for your general evaluation. I think that it was a great one. Your evaluation was good, and I agree with what you were saying about Luke's speech on the 10 top ways to do a speech without your notes. It was something that we all could try better to do, not use so many notes. I think that is all we have for this evening. Do we have any awards?
I don't believe so.
Or we have some awards.
We have some what, Maurice?
Pending awards.
Okay. Okay. Would you like to elaborate?
Oh, would you like for me to elaborate?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, there's a few people who fit. I think there's three people who finished the level and still hasn't finished the course.
That's right.
On the pathways.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to go claim my award, and I will do that, and also go get my free path too. So thanks for reminding me of that, Maurice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so that I won't appear to be strobic over here, I will pass this back to our president, Mr. Luke Green.
All right, thanks, Olivia. And Maurice, you're no longer the winner. You and Olivia are tied. So you guys are tied for the word of the day. So I just want to say, guys, thank you for remaining flexible. Thanks for, it's just like tonight, you know, we didn't have speakers. None of the last couple of meetings, we haven't had speakers, but we get here, we figure the agenda out, we fill it with ideas like Majid had, which are great. You know, they're fun and still allows us to practice and speak. Then we have education overviews where we learn and still get to speak and stuff. So just thanks for your continued dedication. I know we all have to miss meetings sometimes, but yeah, I just really appreciate it. So and also, if there are anybody who wants to speak next week, we do have some open speaker slots. And if not, we will, once again, we will find a way to fill the time and make it a successful meeting like we do every time. So, and with that, I know there is approaching storm. We've been making preparations already at work. We're evacuating our assets tomorrow out of the path of the storm. But you guys be safe, and if you guys need anything, I think we all have each other's phone numbers, and I have everybody, so please don't hesitate to shoot us a text or, you know, give me a call or anything. Does anybody have anything else to pass before we close it out?
I was just going to add real quickly that at the Christmas party last year, I met Robin Roberts, and I think that Downtowner Club does have a lot to offer. I don't like the idea of joining us all into one club, at least not yet. I think, you know, but I think it would be good to some cross club involvement would be great to do on some level. So just wanted to throw that in.
Now, are they still having virtual? I was just going to say, are the Top Cats and the Downtowners, are they still virtual, Luke? Like we are?
They're still virtual, but they are struggling. So I think a lot of times they don't even have enough to have a meeting. And so you have people like you have people like Crystal Lockett and a couple others who are really motivated to still speak, but they aren't able to now because they have like 2 or 3 people at their meeting. And so really they're not holding meetings. And so, yeah, it's they're kind of struggling. I think out of all the clubs, we're kind of like the go-to club where people are trying to come and join because they see that our membership is still up. You know, so it's unfortunate, but yeah, they're still meeting virtually, and they're just really down some people.
Okay. Well, like I said, get with them and see how flexible they need us to be. I mean, I will do whatever I can to definitely be a team player and to show some support. So I think we all will do what we can.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Majid.
Yeah, I wanted to add my flexibility. Like the earliest we could do is 5 and something over 5, like 5:15, 5:30. But I cannot do anything earlier than that. And any day is fine. I mean, Friday, I don't think anybody would like on Friday. So Monday to Thursday, I'm open in the evening. That's I think at least my part, 5:30 Monday to Thursday, I can manage. But yeah, we can take everyone's input, and that's my.
And one more thing also, Luke, even if we don't combine clubs, but they need an audience for someone to do a speech, or if they need some roles to be filled, like out counter, timer, things like that, then I would be willing to volunteer to, you know, fill those roles, especially if it's virtual, you know, on other days of the week.
Yep, absolutely. I'd already kind of passed that to Kevin Poe. You know, I told him, I said, look, we are happy to host anybody who wants to speak, kind of like Crystal Lockett did, but we're happy to have them at any time. Please just let me know. And Majid and David, I agree with both of you guys. I don't want to combine 3 clubs into one right now. And I'm not being selfish or anything, but I think we can still do this without combining the clubs and still having club interaction with them, and figuring out a way we kind of go that route. And Majid, your idea of Monday through Thursday, you know, 5 being the earliest. Really, 5's the earliest for me too. And so I will not say yes to anything without consulting, you know, you guys first, you know, our club first. And I'll bring whatever Robin Roberts and Kevin Poe suggest to me, and I'll tell him our concerns, and hopefully we'll you know, be able to figure something out that kind of meets everybody's needs. But I appreciate everybody's input. Does anybody have anything else? All right, guys, I will send out, if you guys are looking for any kind of roles, please sign up on Easy Speak or just send me a text or email and I can sign you up. I'll send out the next meeting's agenda here in the next coming days, and we will be back here on Monday night, and we'll have another great meeting. And yeah, and so I really appreciate everybody showing up tonight, and we will see you guys next week. And everybody be safe.
All right. Thank you.
You too.
You too.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm out.